All right, so I have been taking some ovulation predictor test strips. This is my first time I've ever used these, but me and my husband recently decided to try for a third child. And even though I never try to take these or really keep track of anything with our other two children, they just sort of happened very quickly on the first fertile cycle with both of those. But being ever so slightly older now with try to have a third child and being really impatient for some reason this time, I decided to get some of these ovulation predictor strips. And since I really have to pee, I've just figured I could go ahead and show you guys how these worked. And since I've already been keeping track, I will show you how they work, and we'll read the result together, and then I'll show you the strips that I've been keeping track of. Okay, I have peed in a cup, and now I have this open and pulled out and ready to go. The instructions do say that you should wait 5 to 10 minutes or once your urine reaches room temperature. I generally haven't been doing that, and I still think that it works just fine. According to reviews I've read online, that a lot of people didn't even know they're supposed to wait, and their strips still gave them accurate results. So I don't really wait. Sometimes I do. I try to, but who has time to really spend in the bathroom waiting on urine to get room temperature, or who can remember to come back? I really can't. So this says dip it for 3 seconds. Oh, sorry. That's my cup of pee, but I don't know if you want to see that, but I don't know. I figure if you're watching a video like this, maybe you really don't care about pee, but I'm going to dip it in here for 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that got it. And try to keep it on this and not put pee on my counter. But let's see if it'll start working. There's a dye in here, and then this soaks, I guess, a little absorbent piece, and it activates the dye, and it will run across this way. And what's supposed to happen is the control line will show closest to the blue strip, and then the test line will show right here. And if you are ovulating, or if it is a positive result, the test line will be darker or the same color as the control line. Now, I've been taking these tests, and some people get really faint lines, and then they get just a slightly darker one, and they know that it's positive. But I've been taking these, and I get pretty solid lines for the control, or for the test line. So the way I knew that mine was actually positive finally was it was way darker than the control line. So it's just going to vary from person to person. I started taking these earlier in my cycle than I needed to, just so I could get the hang of them and get a feel for how much hormone, luteinizing hormone, that my body produces. So I don't know if you can see, there's the control, and then here's the test line already popping up, and you're supposed to wait 3 minutes to read this. So I'm going to cut this off, and then we're going to look at it here in a few minutes when the result is more accurate. All right, it has been several minutes, and I can go ahead and read this test, although the lines will continue to darken and be accurate up to a certain point. But here's my test, and there's my cat, apparently. But you can see right here, this is the control, and this is the test, and this is very light. So this is not a positive ovulation predictor strip. This is not showing me positive. So I have it on this piece of paper right here, and then for comparison, I'm going to show you the ones that I've already taken. And I've just made this little chart, OPK, and I've been writing down my cycle days. And today is cycle day 16, and it is the afternoon of cycle day 16. Now, These are all dried ones, but comparing them to others, I feel is really helpful for you to see and remember your result, because it can get confusing. I've read where people have gotten confused, and I was really confused when I was getting results like these, but it was cycle day 11, and I did feel like that was early for me in my cycle. And they were technically ever so slightly lighter than the control. So it's only a positive if this test line is as dark or darker for me. Now, I have seen other people's pictures and videos and reviews of these things where all their test lines are so light, like this, and then they'll get a line like this or this, and that will be their positive. But for me, since my lines are fairly prominent as a negative, I knew I needed to wait until I got something really dark for it to be positive. So here I am going through my days, and then right here, cycle day 14 is when I got my positive. Now, I initially thought cycle day 13 was my positive, because this one especially seemed fairly darker than this control line. It does look darker. And I think that's when my surge, my luteinizing hormone surge, started. But then the next day, it was even darker, and it was very obvious. This is morning strip, and this is the afternoon strip. And these are very dark. So I had a positive on these days. And then yesterday was cycle day 15, and it already was lighter. And then today is still light. And then down here, this is the afternoon of cycle day 16, and very light. And I'm going to tape it up there to go in my little chart. But for comparison's sake, you can see I feel very certain that I got my positive on cycle day 14. So, according to these easy at home test strips, according to the instructions, I, or you, anyone that's using these, is going to ovulate roughly 12 to 48 hours after a positive result. So I got my positive on cycle day 14. It is now cycle day 16. And I guess for the best chances of becoming pregnant, it's going to be most helpful if you have sex the day before you're positive, or the days leading up to your positive, on your positive, and then some people even say several days afterward, beyond your positive, just for insurance sex, I guess. So for us personally, we had intercourse, we had sex, cycle day 12, I'm looking down here at my notebook, cycle day 12, cycle day 13, and then cycle day 14, my positive, and then also cycle day 15, the day after the positive, when the strips start getting lighter. And I feel like that's enough. I think we sort of need a break now. So we're just going to see what happens. Again, this is our first cycle actively trying for number 3. And I feel like that's a pretty good amount to do to try to get a egg fertilized and on its way to becoming a new person. So I hope this video was helpful for someone. I will definitely keep y'all updated. Unfortunately, now the 2-week wait begins, the dreaded 2-week wait, and I don't remember feeling this anxious with my other 2 children, especially with my second one and my first, well, both of them. I was not this anxious, but now it's all I can think about. I can barely concentrate, and now we just wait. But I figured this video would be helpful maybe to other people trying to use these strips and read them. I know some people maybe have a hard time using these and reading the result, and I know I was confused and a little panicky because I thought that I had gotten a positive on cycle day 11, which was pretty early for me, but time will tell. I do now think they're pretty easy to use and read, and hopefully they get us a result. So I will see you guys again soon, hopefully, with another video. I'm going to try to pass some time while I wait and see if I get my positive pregnancy test. I gotta talk quietly because I don't know where my kids are. They might be right outside the door. So, and they aren't. they don't know about any of this going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you again soon.